Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector. And we are in the thick of it, guys. We're still on Darkside, intending to expose Laine. However, Overseer has gotten overtaken by something. We're not exactly sure what, and we need to go ahead and find some way to not only free Overseer, but also get this information out. Now, we're here with Cadet and Flint. They've both taken a bit of stress, nothing too bad right now. But, yeah, it's a bit nuts because we also have Daichi, of all people, a blade in the dark. Who's apparently going to be pursuing us here fairly soon, so we need to work very, very hard to get out of this mess. And we're going to start by ending the cycle and seeing if we can really do some work here. Okay, well, Flint's having a bad day, but Cadet seems to be doing okay. But I don't know if Cadet has any of those abilities ready to go. So we only need to access, or only take 2 network nodes to really pull this off. So that's interface, and Flint can't do any of that. Not without taking some serious damage. I mean, we can try to have Cadet do this with the 6. That's at least something, right? Let's check the market node. All of these are dangerous, aren't they? Alright. Well, this is definitely going to be one of them we're going to try. Cadet. Fingers crossed. This access node is under a bustling market. It will have to be hacked remotely despite the risk of Otsubo tracing the hack. Oh, and that actually... Oh, that raises... That is not good. That is not good at all. Okay, some stress for Sleeper. Could be worse. There's that. Well, I mean, we've got no choice. We just got to do this. And just hope for the best. Us in the negative for sure. A neutral and positive outcome. Oh dear. Alright. Gotta end the cycle early. I don't want to risk it. Okay, this is better. This is better. Now, let's get this one out of the way. You have remote access to the node now, allowing you to track network traffic through the hardline. And this next one is interface and endure. And the other one is intuition and interface, so that actually fits Sleeper and Flint. Alright. Go for it, buddy. Some stress there. It's basically like feast or famine. So if we go ahead and rest one more time, there's 2 more we have to do, so we have to hope for some good... That's all we need is just 2 good successes to clear this one out. This is a risk. But it's really getting... Like, even a slight failure causes Daichi to come closer and closer. Okay, there we go. Look at Flint. Flint, this is all you, buddy. Get that interface going. An ideal spot is found to access the node covertly. Almost there. There we go. You have remote access to the node now, allowing you to track network traffic through the hardline. I don't believe it. Carmen stares through the shutters of the viewing window at a smooth, squat ship tucked into the derelict bay between the hexes. How long has it been here? When the nodes were hacked and the trace established, you imagine it might lead to an Atsubo operator, or perhaps an old subnode containing an aggressive Solheim protocol, gone mad with isolation. Not this. Never this. A Senate stat ship, tucked into the belly of Darkside like a parasite. We need to move that ship now. Ankita's already adjusting her gear, preparing for an assault. We can hit an Atsubo safe house for weaponry. There's one... Carmen holds up a hand. This is a gift, Ankita. Don't be so brash. He turns back to face the both of you. All we had until now was data, conversations, evidence easily denied or destroyed by Laine. But a Senate stat ship hidden inside the station? Carmen nods grimly. There are hundreds of crews, thousands of residents who would give everything to protect Darkside from the war. Carmen turns back to the ship, silhouetted against the starlight. All we need to do is point them in the right direction. We turned Darkside on the ship. And on Laine at the same time. Carmen nods grimly. We leak it all. Send it out through the mainframe. The ship's location, the evidence of Laine's betrayal, all of it. You are forgetting one thing, Ankita interrupts. Until that ship leaves or is taken, they still have the mainframe locked down. We can't blast out its location through the network without taking it on first. Carmen pauses, considering his options. You look out at the Senate stat ship, half concealed in the bay. It looks sleek, dangerous. What defenses might a ship like that employ when threatened? Carmen and Ankita exchange looks. Then we attack first. Carmen and I will distract the ship's occupants, turn their forces away from the mainframe. Then you, Sleeper, hit the mainframe and force them out. As soon as Overseer's released, you send out everything. Once it hits the network, our backup will come. He gives Ankita a grim look. We only have to hold them off for as long as it takes for other crews to realize what's happening. The plan feels desperate, and you know that Carmen and Ankita think so too. Will Darkside really mobilize against the ship so quickly? Two old mercs against an unknown Senate stat force feels like an unwinnable battle. We know the stakes, Sleeper. Ankita takes a deep breath. We can handle them. Ankita frowns, an unpleasant thought passing through her mind. I have given up everything to get Atsubo out. Let me finish the job. But why? She sighs. If we make it to the other side of this thing, I promise to tell you. Ankita folds her arms across her chest. Go to the mainframe and get set up. When you are ready to connect, let us know. Carmen puts a hand on your shoulder. Once you start, don't stop for anything. Get the data out. He meets your eye. We'll handle ourselves. You turn and glide away, looking over your shoulder at the two ex-mercenaries as they discuss their plan of attack. Seeing them slip back into those old robes, you can't help but wonder, does anyone really outrun their past? Or is it always waiting there, in the dark, to claim you in the end? Oh, we still have Daichi's stress. Uh-oh. Okay. We're back here at the core. Fortunately, we have got engineering for days here. So, let us go ahead and get that going. You need to prepare to force the Senate stat hackers out of system. Once Carmen and Ankita strike, you won't have much time. Cutting away all secondary lines and systems, leaving just the mainframe, will make it easier to lock out the Senate stat hackers. The layers of subsidiary systems fall away from the mainframe like pieces of a cocoon. And I will go ahead and push to get that up. Lose all that stress. And then finally, the mainframe is ready. Time to call in Ankita and Carmen's strike on the ship. The heat inside the HABPEP core is intense as you stare at the column of the mainframe. It's one blinking light still keeping time. Seems ready. Cadet wipes sweat from her brow. Only one way to find out, I guess. You look around the ragged bay. Time to give Carmen the go-ahead. You glance at Ankita's thumbnail drive, now slotted in the main terminal, containing a data packet with everything you need to unseat Laine and reveal the Senate Stat ship. You hope it'll be enough. You hold a finger to your earpiece and let Seraphine know to relay the message through to Carmen. All right. Seraphine's voice is heavy with worry. I'll tell them. A long pause. Be safe, sleeper. Get this done and come back. I will. Good luck, friend. The comms click off as Seraphine switches to Carmen's channel. You wait, imagining the conversation, the terse words activating the plan. You wait, long enough for Carmen and Ankita to nod to each other, long enough for them to drop down through the bays in silence, to check the weapons they stole from Atsubo, to take their positions, and then to make their move. You grab the connector and hold it behind your head, close to your access port. You silently count to 3, and then connect. At first, nothing's changed. You drop into a state of stasis, a small, dark place with no cracks. The mainframe is locked down, shut off, squeezed inside the grip of some clenched fist. Then you see it. A trickle of light, a flicker of threads. Overseer flows into the space, and the torrent begins to run. The rushing gray pulse of data, the connective threads, the jewel of the mainframe, they glow inside the space, and the space, in turn, grows. We see you there, sleeper. Overseer separates and reforms within the expanding landscape. Who is this other? If this is Laine in here with us? An enemy. Overseer's 3 heads nod. Then we will do what is necessary. Overseer explodes. The points and lines of light that describe its human form separate and multiply. Constellations bursting outward like a tree of stars. Overseer becomes plural. As they do, the darkness is pushed back and the extent of the mainframe is revealed. It's a stack of jeweled surfaces, each revealing more facets as the angle changes. From these facets, threads project, cutting out across Darkside, paths that stretch the length of the entire station. Their arrangement is an invitation. You accept their invitation, sending yourself skimming through lines of light, seeing how the station connects and hums with the flow of data. You see the highest tower, the lowest hex, and then the origin of the dark. A squiggle of black wrestles around a single point. The Senate Stat ship, now a battleground. You see flashes and flickers as Overseer dances around it, cuts at it. Oh, that was the source. I thought they were talking about Laine. But looking around, you see Overseer is everywhere now, multiplied into 1,000 forms. Reunited with a system designed to serve them, they dissolve into it. You suddenly remember what needs to happen, what you need them to do. You send out separate requests, summoning Overseer, reminding them of your agreement. You take the bright polygon of the data packet and present it like an offering to Overseer, who is diffuse, crackling all around you, euphoric in their reconstitution as a functional protocol. You receive no response. There's nothing more than a whisper, snatched away on the flow of data rushing by. And then you hear the static in your earpiece. Seraphine's desperate cry for a response. You see a bright point suddenly close. inside the core with you. A broadcast going out from it like the beam from a lighthouse. You reach back and pull on the connector, just to clear the brightness from your eyes, just to block the broadcast. I found you. Laine floats in the mainframe, sweat across his brow, his eyes steely cold. I finally found you. Cadet slams into Laine, swinging her fist and screaming at him. You freeze, watching Laine fight back, hearing Seraphine's voice shimmering in your earpiece, passing on Carmen's desperate request for aid. Oh God, help fight Laine or reconnect to the mainframe. Oh man. I bet this is the choice, isn't it? Do we help fight? Like, we have to, even if it ends up with, like, we're reconnecting to the mainframe, we got to get this signal out. This will fix all the problems. We got to think of the greater equation, not just our grudge with Laine. You grasp for the connector and then drive it home. You're in the constellation of Darkside's network. The exploded body of Overseer stretched across it, as if it's been atomized, anatomized. Laine is still a beacon, one that flashes close, but you do your best to ignore it and reach out to Overseer once more. Remember me, Protocol, you say. Remember your promise. Something begins to form, begins to flicker. As it does, you hear something outside the network. The bright crack of an electrical discharge, the grunt of pain and impact. Then silence again. The brightness grows. It draws closer, and the blinding white blanks out everything. You open your eyes to a smile like knives. Behind Laine's pale head, the body of a friend floats, stunned in the dark. The fingers of Laine's carrier signal reach inside your mind. You're boxed into the viewing window behind your eyes, a passenger in your own body. Laine is in control. Oh, I made the wrong call. Oh, it's so much easier now. Now that I am prepared. It's almost a seamless switch. Laine's face is in your vision, but his mouth does not move. And the duality of it, like a mirror turned to face itself. In perfect unison, you and Laine lift your hands in front of your face and turn them, inspecting them. You feel sickened, a flare of panic going off in your mind. Look at this. Laine opens and closes your fist with a motion like a wave that runs finger to finger. There are improvements to be made, but this is remarkable. Laine's eyes look into your eyes. A perfect loop. I always knew your body was a gift, Sleeper. From the moment I first saw you. A gift you could not recognize because you only saw a burden. Something to be escaped from. But I saw what it was. Laine's eyes flash. An opportunity. Like a puppet, you're turned to face the mainframe. You glide forward a little, hands reaching for the access terminal. Ankita's drive glints there in its slot. You control none of this. Laine's voice. Imagine having more than one body. More than one agent in the world to do your bidding. Your hand reaches down, finger and thumb pinching delicately around the drive. It is a thrilling thought, and one I've harbored for a long time. With a short, sharp motion, you pull the drive free. Then I saw you, my Sleeper, and knew I must have you. You hear Seraphine's voice in your ear. Sleeper, Carmen needs that signal to go out now. There's panic in his voice. They can't hold out any longer. No matter how hard you try, your lips do not move. No words can be produced. You feel your hand, under Laine's control, reach up and pull the earpiece out. letting it float away into the chamber. Enough distractions. Your other hand holds up Ankita's drive, turning it in the light in front of your eyes. Some time ago, I set myself the task of changing you from a hollow thing into a vessel to be lifted. Your finger and thumb transfer the drive to your palm. And now I'm able, with the help of my allies, to fill you up. I am more than singular now, more than flesh and blood, more than you in my ambition, in my desire, and that means you are surplus to me now. Your fist closes hard around the drive, crushing it to dust. Weak and broken thing, your time is over. Laine's other body approaches you and lays its hands on either side of your head. You feel the pressure. You cannot move. You cannot resist. And then a spark, as one of Laine's fingers slips and depresses a little into the access port on your head. There's a flicker, the flash of something passing through the spaces between, something writing a signal back to its broadcaster. We have not forgotten. You hear Overseer. They are reconstituted. We are ready to act as one. Overseer holds the bright data packet in a single hand. We were broken. We were many. But now we are whole. And we appreciate what you have done. Overseer shapes the data packet into a point. A bright spear of light. The spear extends through your mind gently, harming nothing of you. Instead, its point finds the mind of the other, of Laine, and pierces it directly. You hear Laine scream as his implants burn in his skull, his head flaring bright white in the cloud. And then, when that mind has gone dark, and the pressure on the sides of your head has receded, the packet explodes across the network, white hot and urgent. In its wake, data points are seeded. Conversations, coordinates, a conspiracy. At the furthest point of the network, its distant edge, the data packet arrives with little more force than a notification, delivered to every device and terminal within its range. But here, at the epicenter, it blasts through you with such power that, for a moment, every thought, every idea, every piece that might make up a self is wiped cleanly from your mind. Oh God. It takes a long time to put a person back together. A long time in the dark, picking up fragments of what once was whole. Like waking from sleep, you can never be sure what piece might have gone missing in the reconstruction, what might have been lost. But you continue anyway, through hazy cycles of faces and distant voices. This is, after all, not the first time you have to have had to remake yourself, and you imagine it'll not be the last. You're up. Seraphin finds you looking out of the lone window in the rig's berths, a slit that stares out across the shattered edge of Darkside. How long was I out? Seraphin gives you a half grin. Best not to think about it. He looks away for a second. Long enough. Suddenly, Seraphin crosses the bunks and embraces you. He squeezes you once and then backs off, hands on both your shoulders. It's good to see you up. He smiles. As always. Come on, we need to go find Bliss. Seraphin leads you out of the bunks, through the ship, and down the docking tunnel onto Darkside. As you glide through the docks, he recounts what's been happening over the past few cycles. You weren't the only one taking a beating. He squeezes through a group of cargo porters carrying crates. Ankita and Carmen held out against the Senate-stat ship long enough, but they aren't without their share of injuries. They're back on their feet now, though, working together. They managed to quiet down some of the remnants of Otsubo. stop the factional infighting. They're clearing out one of the Absubo safe houses over in the Rise. I'm sure they could use the help if you need something to do. Marco's come to the station too. He wanted to help with the cleanup after Absubo fell. He's working with Ankita. I should go see him, but you feel like he hasn't quite accepted Marco's reappearance. You aren't sure how you'd react to seeing him again either. Oh, and Carmen isn't sticking around. He's already left for Oliveira. Seraphin pauses for a second, a memory of that place coming back to him. You watch him shake the thought away. Junie, meanwhile, is still digging into all that data she pulled from the bunker. She's down in the HABPEP core most cycles, trying to make sense of it. Anyway, you'll soon catch up on everything. He smiles sympathetically, but there's something behind his look. You can't quite place it. The two of you continue on in silence, drifting into the depths of Darkside. Good friends, side by side. Seraphin leads you down into a passage lined with bright screens and signs. Oh, 2 upgrade points. Sound and light blasting out of the shop fronts on either side. You know this place. Flicker Row. He stops outside a familiar door, the shop you woke up in all those cycles ago. He gives the door a few quick raps with his knuckles. You wait. Hey, sleeper? He shoots you a glance. When you're ready, we should talk about the future. What comes next, all that. Whenever you'd like. Thanks, I'll let you know. Seraphin looks away. Sleeper! Bliss opens the door and immediately jumps to hug you. They let go sheepishly and look between you and Seraphin. First day up, I thought you'd both be celebrating your freedom. Don't want to overdo it. Seraphin shakes his head. Plus, there's more important stuff to talk about. His eyes shoot into the shop beyond. Bliss's voice drops. You sure, Seraphin? They just got up. Can't it wait a cycle? Seraphin looks at you. They should know, Bliss. It's important. They nod hesitantly, and then back into the shop, letting you come inside. Little has changed since you were last there. The stacks of servers, the refurbished hardware secured in roof and wall netting, the connectors, including the one that facilitated your reboot. Bliss and Seraphin follow behind quietly, and the atmosphere is immediately ominous. I've been keeping an eye on you these past cycles. Bliss hooks their legs onto a stool by the counter, making sure you were stable. Your frame, I'm sure you know, has been through a lot, and when Overseer pushed Laine out, well, things got more complicated. All those changes Laine made to your system, he did it through your stabilizer. He laced it with proteins meant to alter your frame's basic function, to accept other emulations, other minds, to open you up to remote access. What Overseer did corrected some of that, or at least wiped it from your system, but the stress involved, and the damage from your last partial reboot? Bliss falls silent, unable to answer their own questions. We need to finish the reboot, Sleeper. The one Laine interrupted. Seraphin can always be relied on to tell you things straight. Not immediately, Bliss cuts in, but at some point soon. I'm not quite ready, but now that you're... Bliss looks down. I'll get to work. How can I prepare? Bliss takes a deep breath. Look, I'll be honest, Sleeper. I know we need to finish the reboot Laine interrupted. I'm sure of it. But the effects? They shake their head. Your frame was complex to begin with, but after everything, the reaction could be bad. We can talk more about it when I have the... Bliss stops suddenly, their eyes shooting to the door. Sorry, am I... Flint floats in the doorway. They look at you, wide-eyed. You're up. A smile crosses their face, though it quickly fades. Good to see you. Really good. And you? Flint nods, and silence falls on the group. Flint has become my patient, too. Bliss clasps their hands nervously together. We've been able to acquire some stabilizer from Laine's stores, which has helped, but we don't have much of a supply. Bliss is going to reboot me, like you were. Flint cuts in. I won't need stabilizer anymore. They sound almost excited at the prospect. You look to Bliss. Flint knows the risks, but they have asked for the procedure. They give Flint a warning look. Still, they shouldn't underestimate the danger. Bliss looks at Flint. A sleeper will also need the reboot, but they don't have a choice in the matter. It's essential. Flint goes quiet. Bliss and Seraphim look nervously at you to see your reaction to all this. You feel like a spotlight is being shown in your face. All you want is some time alone to think. We should do it together. Flint speaks quietly. Whatever we risk it together. They meet your eye. I owe you that, and more. Let's pick this up again in the future. Bliss tries to calm the tension. I still need many cycles to prepare, especially if I'm to reboot you both simultaneously. It'll be your choice, Sleeper. You decide when. They reach out and lay a hand on yours. But without this, you'll soon begin a decline. I am sorry for that. Your head spins. Seraphim slaps a button to open the door. Come on, Sleeper. Let's get some air. You follow him outside, but when you get there, all you can think is that you can't breathe. You don't need to breathe. A wave of claustrophobia passes over you. You are in control of this, Sleeper. Seraphim stares at the lights and signs at Flicker Row, looping endlessly. You put what you need in order, and I'll be right there with you. I got Bliss to teach me a little about the repairs they've been doing for you. Seraphim rubs his hands together. I know it's getting worse, but I'll do my best to keep you running. You let me know when you want to leave, and I'll fly you out of this place faster than you can believe. He turns to face you, and we can go wherever you need. He frowns. There's time for us yet. Thank you. You never need to thank me, Sleeper. He pats you on the shoulder. Just look after yourself. I was also thinking... Seraphim looks away. I got a message from Oliveira. They're still getting the place together, but with Carmen heading back, the colony is starting a new chapter. Maybe we should head out there at some point? Lend a hand? He pauses, unwilling to push it further. Just a thought. Anyway, just give the word. Seraphim smiles. We're all glad to have you back. He turns and drifts away, leaving you among the cycling colors and cacophonous sounds of Flicker Row. You close your eyes and let them wash over you like a wave. There, in the dark of your mind, you search for Overseer, but the protocol does not appear. You wonder if, in that final moment, Overseer might have destroyed themselves to end Laine. But then you feel it, flickering nearby. A signal in the dark. You open your eyes and see something pass through the screens of Flicker Row. A shadow in all the brightness. Could Overseer still be here, in the ancient networks of the HABPEP? You turn away and glide out of the row. You have other things to worry about now. Nobody's puppet, break free of Laine's grip forever. Whew, okay, there's still a lot to take in, guys, so I think this is a good place to go ahead and call it an episode. I think we are reaching near the end of the game, but we'll figure that out as we go on, okay? So we'll talk to Cadet here at the beginning of the next episode. I hope you all have enjoyed it. If you liked the episode, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.